Well. What do we have here? It's Friday. It's a Friday show. Welcome to the live stream, all you lovely, shining, smiling, delightfully lovely people. We have 300,000 million people in here with 13 likes. Gosh, that seems short. Are we supposed to hit the like button? Who cares? Somebody hit the dislike button. Who cares? Hit whatever buttons you like. It's all good. Welcome to the show. It's a lovely, lovely, blistering Friday out there. And before people have to comment on it 100 times, I got a haircut. That's right. After 7 glorious months of living in a pandemic, and not forcing, the other haircut I got in the 7 months was I forced Vicky to cut my hair. And I don't mean forced. I mean, I was like, please cut my hair. You know, I was being nice about it. I didn't shoot the double leg, take her down, and do any kind of jujitsu on her or anything like that. I could have. I didn't. That was the other haircut I got. Today I actually managed to go into an appointment-only, pandemic-friendly haircutting extravaganza, masks on, gloves on. That whole situation. Finally found a place that could handle a pandemic haircut. So that happened, and it is cut now. So my hair is now shorter than it was before. So, moving on, it was the most expensive haircut I think I've ever gotten in my entire life, so that's a thing. But moving on, regardless of any of that, it is handled, it is done, and that's what's up on a Friday. As you guys will notice from the thumbnail, today is the Patreon stream where we answer the Patreon questions, we answer the Patreon community posts. We answer that stuff. Sometimes people have questions. Sometimes people have comments. Sometimes people want to feature their YouTube channel or just a picture of their lovely project or something like that. Now, this week is kind of unique because we didn't have 0 posts on there, although they have been waning over the summer months. It's bright and sunny and shiny outside. I get it, my guy. I get it. I fully understand that it is super sunny and everybody's outside doing all the outside stuff. So that's what I attribute it to, because it just looks like, traffic on the internet is, pandemic or not, down from what it was before. So we have 1 post today. That's why it's uniquely unique. So let's bust into it. This week's post is from It's Nature Man, and it is not a worry. It's not a concern. It's not a complaint. That's kind of why I was like, let's rock it out. Let's take a look at it real quick right out the gate, because the question is, does anyone else listen to Parkway Drive while aquascaping? And I have to admit, no, I don't. I don't personally listen to Parkway Drive while aquascaping, although I do listen to music typically when I'm aquascaping, which is great. It's great. I love music. You guys know I'm a huge fan of music. I love music. I love it. I really do. I listen to music all the time. I'm always listening to something. It drives Vicky crazy. She's like, "What are you listening to now?" And I'm like, "Oh man, it's the other side of the album from the whatever, right?" And I'm always listening to like an audiobook on tape or a record or something. I'm always listening to stuff. And, I've mentioned this before. I have tinnitus, so there's constantly ringing in my ears all the time. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I am always listening to something, mainly because if it gets too quiet, it's like, and I'm like, I don't want to hear this noise. This noise sucks. This is like, I don't even want to be on that track, you know what I'm saying? I want to be on the other side of the record, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm pretty much always listening to something like that, but I think if I had to like pin it down and say like what there's probably two bands I most listen to. Let's go three. So number one would probably be Mastodon. Number two would probably be like Devin Townsend. And number three would be like cheesy pop music like Pink or Katy Perry or whatever. Because all those songs are exactly the same. They almost all have the exact same tempo. They're all 4/4 time. You know what I'm saying? And they're all in well, I can't remember the scale now off the top of my head, but they're all pretty much in the exact same scale and that kind of stuff. So if I'm doing something for like 3 hours, it actually works to put on like autoplay Katy Perry or something, and it will just like, it'll like pull up tracks from similar artists, and it won't matter if it's Taylor Swift, if it's Katy Perry, if it's Pink, if it's Missy Elliott, if it's whatever. Like, a lot of that pop music is all just in that same, like, here's the beat structure, here's the chord progression, here's the here's the chorus, here's all the breakdown. It's all at the same time, so it actually does work out pretty well for long monotonous projects that I know I'm going to listen to, that I know I'm going to be working on something for hours and hours and hours. Actually kind of works pretty good. Rico Stan says, I saw Mastodon live with Coheed and Cambria years ago. Yeah, great show. That would be a great show. I'd love to go to that. I'd love to go see Coheed at some point in time. I'm not sure. It seems like every time I've had the opportunity to go see that specific band, it was always like one of their themed tours or something like that. And it was kind of like, well, I don't know if I want to just listen to that record. I've been to a lot of shows. I've been to an astounding amount of shows in my life. It's something that I definitely prioritized, going to live performances. So I've been to quite a few. And I was sort of just kind of like, I don't know. Out of all of the bands that I've probably seen the most, like, if there was one band I've seen the most, it's probably In Flames, a band called In Flames, because I think I've seen them like every time they've come to Western Washington. Like, for whatever reason, it has worked out that I've gone to see them like so many times. Like, they just happen to come to town on the right day. Like their show would be on a Monday night. Or it's just like perfect timing that it's not New Year's Eve, but they came on New Year's Day instead. Or maybe they did two shows and they did one on New Year's Eve and then one on New Year's Day or something. So yeah, I mean, I've been to a ton of concerts. I've probably seen In Flames play 7 times, maybe something like that. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think one of the craziest big shows I've ever been to was like Flogging Molly was pretty crazy. Go-Go Bordello was pretty wild. But those are all like really tame compared to the old punk rock shows I used to go to all the time. Like, I saw the Descendants in 93, 94. I saw the Circle Jerks play. I've seen Black Flag with Henry Rollins, not Keith Morris. I mean, it's just like a laundry list of punk shows I've been to. Like Face to Face. Face to Face is like a really timid punk rock band that I think would probably do well with anybody. Rico Stan says, I saw the Meat Puppets a lot. Lived in Arizona. I've definitely seen the Meat Puppets. John's seen a lot of Dead shows. I only ever went to one Grateful Dead show. It was either Grateful Dead or a Grateful Dead like reunion tour show. I've probably been more. From Dave says, I've probably been more Lucky Boys Confusion shows than any other local heroes. So they play lots around me. Makes sense. Rico Sen says, mine would be Rush, but I'm friggin' old. Yeah, Geddy Lee, greatest bass player of all time. Geddy Lee. I don't know. That's arguable. That's with the greatest bass player of all time. People always say is Geddy Lee. It's super easy to, what's his name? Les Claypool. Yeah, I mean, there's so many good bass players over the years, but I would say if there was like a pop culture best bass player, rock player guy, I would say Les Claypool. I think I was more impressed by his play than Geddy Lee. But what are you going to do? That all just comes down to personal preference because those guys could play whatever they want. Some people would throw Flea in there. I wouldn't throw Flea in there because Red Hot Chili Peppers were always just ripping off. They were always just ripping off. I'm having a brain fart here, guys. Faith No More. They were always just ripping off Faith No More. So it's hard to give that like mad respect to anybody from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Though I think Flea is definitely the most admirable character from that group for sure, 100%. Oh, Carlo Rubin says Flea. Yeah, definitely look up Faith No More versus Red Hot Chili Peppers. The the feud between the two is the funniest thing you'll ever see. Nobody ever got harmed. Nobody was ever harmed in the making of that feud. I mean, feelings. I think they hurt each other's feelings. But other than that, I mean, come on now. Fish Tank Barn with a $5 super chat says, I know you have seen a lot of shows, but have you seen MC Hammer? I saw MC Hammer at something. It was some kind of like big, it was like a whole bunch of like, it was, what do you call those concerts? When there's, what the hell is that called? It's not a convention. I mean, it's like a convention of bands. What the crap is that called? There's a name for it, and you guys are gonna like laugh at me, but I'm having a total brain fart. Whatever that was, whatever that's called, when a whole bunch of festival. Jeez, that took a minute. Yeah, I seen him at festival. Dave's Aquarium says, "Oh man, Jodeci opening for MC Hammer in like '91." Yeah, I think Hammer. This was like later on when like Hammer was on a. I think he was with like Sir Mix-a-Lot and a bunch of other like of those sort of that era like R&B rap groups and stuff like that. Dave's Aquarium says Les Claypool is a freaking savant. Met him a few times. He's order of magnitude above Flea and Sting and others. I mean, I think so, but you got to put like Sting and the Police. Like, I don't even know if I would refer. I mean, they're not hard rock. I mean, maybe they're just like rock, like just hey, it's rock. It's not like a big giant rock like this rock over here, right? It's not. They're not this. Like maybe they're just these little rocks. But the Police, man, you gotta give like mad respect to Sting and the Police because they just. They've just done some amazing stuff. Neil Peart is one of the best drummers from Rico. Yeah, I would say I would agree with that. I mean, I don't think there's any reason why. There's like a point of aptitude, right? There's a point of aptitude where these men and women hit, right? Where it's like you don't go beyond. It's sort of just like, yeah, you're at the top with 20 other people or 30 other people or whatever of all time. And you're just there. Like the only way that you excel past that is personal preference, right? Like, if you were to say somebody like a composer, like I like Mozart better than Beethoven, like, okay, but you're just literally on to personal preference at that point. You're like, I like raspberry more than blueberry. Like, yeah, they're still awesome, we're not talking about nectarines here. We're talking about raspberries and blueberries. Both delicious. Nectarines, definitely not top of the charts. You have to be straight up. You have to be straight up and understand that nectarines are not at the top of the charts because they never will be. It's an inferior fruit. I'm sorry. I don't like nectarines. But see, it's just a personal preference. Nectarines are good for you. They have a lot of great nutrients, and the flavor isn't that bad. It's just like, dude, if you had raspberries and blueberries and nectarines, I would take the raspberries and blueberries. And as Andrew Kolozarski, I don't know how to say your last name. I'm sorry, Andrew K. You should just be Andrew WK. That would be dope. I would be behind that. I've seen Andrew WK play. Awesome, great show. Definitely recommend going to see that. It was a lot of fun. But like that's just like your opinion, man. Which is Lebowski, and I gotta respect anybody who can like just conjure up Lebowski quotes. That's legitimate. That's legitimate. As I may or may not have mentioned on the live stream here, I just want to let you all know that I did go see The Big Lebowski in the theater multiple times. I did. When did The Big Lebowski come out? I want to see when that came out. Yeah, okay. It came out in 1998. And I legit got to tell you guys, we were breaking the law. Not by going to see the movie. I was old enough to go see the movie in 1998. When it came out in theaters, I was not of legal drinking age, but one of the pastimes that we had in the area that I grew up was we would go all the way out to this like $2 theater. So I saw it. I saw it in the full price theater. I think maybe. I know I saw it in the $2 theater a bunch of times because we would go get. And I wanted to say that we'd go get a 6-pack, but it definitely was not a 6-pack. We'd sneak a bunch of beer and liquor into the movie theater. I don't recommend this. It's not a good idea. Even now with the pandemic, you're going to be poisoned by the pandemic likely and probably arrested by the cops because everybody's on high alert. It's not like you're going to be able to go hang out at a movie theater and cause a ruckus and not be arrested in this day and age. You know what I'm saying? This is 22 years ago when there wasn't a pandemic going on. Come on, guys. This is before even 9/11. You know what I'm saying? So pump the brakes if you're thinking I'm trying to give somebody an idea. I'm not giving somebody an idea. I'm telling you a story. Me and my friend Janelle and my friend Jeffrey, we would all go and see The Big Lebowski and get hammered. We'd get wicked hammered like people from Boston do, but in the movie theater, which is illegal. It's bad. I don't recommend it, but that's why I've seen The Big Lebowski so many ridiculous amounts of times, because it was $2 to get in back then, or maybe like $1.50. Maybe it was like $1.50. I don't know. It was super cheap. It was an innocuous amount of money. Mickey M says, Joel, what about John Frusciante? Yeah, I mean, I believe John's like a very talented guy. I'm just giving people a hard time about liking the Red Hot Chili Peppers because they pretty much, they stole all their style in the song. You know, they stole it from Faith No More. I mean, respect. You got to respect that. That's just history. Whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. Mirdul Singh says, Joel, heard you talking about tempo and time signature. Have you ever composed music? If so, what type? For example, rock, classical, etc. Yes, I have. All to just a terrible degree. I wouldn't consider myself talented or anything like that. I can play the drums. I can play the keyboards. I can play alto, sax, a phone, baritone saxophone. I can play tenor saxophone. I can play a lot of saxophone. Let's just be honest here. I can play a lot of saxophone. That is certain. I'm not very adept at the keyboards or piano anymore. I mean, it's 20 years since I really done anything, but I got out my old Alesis V25 with drum pad actuators and 25 keys. I'll be probably adding some content at some point in time. I really am working on trying to configure my MIDI controls and sound effects and stuff like that so I can like mess around and play sounds and stuff. And that's likely going to be not on YouTube. It'll probably be on Twitch whenever I get around to finalizing the idea behind that, which will happen at some point in time. I don't know when. I'm not promising anything to anybody. There's a pandemic going on, and like it took 2 hours to get a haircut today. So like nothing happens at any kind of pace that I really ever want anything to happen ever. Everything is taking a monumental amount of time to do anything anymore. So yeah, I get it, and I understand. There's a lot of people out there that are like, hey man, why don't you just do more projects? And I'm the same way. I just want to do more projects. That's all I want to do, man. But work's pretty busy. I've been working extra hours, extra days and stuff. So that will continue on. And this weekend, heading out to the woods here for a couple of days. I gotta get some peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get some peace of mind, some quiet time. And I'm excited to say, and not so excited to say, we have a new addition to the camera family here. And I don't know if the camera will pick it up. We have the EOS R6 has come in. I pre-ordered this months ago at the announcement. And since then, people have been testing them. People have been trying them out. And they have a lot of overheating issues. So we're going to see how that goes, whether or not it's going to work out well or not. I don't know. I mean, I primarily bought this camera so that I don't have to buy... excuse me, stills camera that also does video. This literally does the video, all the video I could ever want to do, and all of the photography that I could ever want to do realistically in one camera, and it overheats. I did not know that it overheated. I pre-ordered the camera by what it said on the paperwork, basically, of like what this camera does. And I do have to admit, I'm a little bit perturbed. This is the most expensive camera I've ever purchased. It's the most expensive camera I've ever purchased. It's a lot of money. I've been saving to buy a new camera for quite a while now, since the last time I bought a camera, which is like, seems like very recent, but I went and looked it up, and it was like 20 months ago or something like that. So it was over a year and a half ago. And so I'm a little bit frustrated by this whole situation. Whether or not I'm going to have to send it back, I don't know. I'm going to try it out here over the weekend. I'm going to see what happens, see what kind of pictures and video I can get, and see if it overheats. I don't know. But, yeah, it's going to be... You're going to see how it goes. I don't know. I have to admit, I'm a little stir-crazy from, not being able to do too much during this pandemic. Although I have been working out every day for the last 32 days, 33, 34, maybe 34 days now, 35 days maybe. I don't know. I'll have to check my thing, but I have not missed a workout in that amount of time, which is good. So things are going pretty well with that. Definitely not cranky about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just kind of moving along during this pandemic to see what we can do. And I'm a little bit pissed that camera overheats, because I was literally like, it's the size. It shoots the video that I want. It shoots the stills at the rate that I need. So I have an EOS R, to those of you out there that may or may not know. That's my main camera that I use all the time. But it's like per second shots. So if you guys happen to watch like a press conference or something like that, and you hear the cameras going shooting super fast, that's basically what I need so that I can take better pictures of fish and stuff, because I'm not as adept as other people. But you basically need a fast burst rate, isolate yourself, blah, 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 all that. You got to do all the photography side of things, but it's good to have like a fast burst rate, so that you don't end up with just 1 or 2 images, but you could end up with 7, 8, or 9 images and then edit the best one out of those. So that's basically what I was looking forward to, and it overheats, but we're going to see how how much it overheats for me or not. Lord Getface says, as far as I remember, it's only if you're shooting a video at 8K that it's a problem. Nope, not true. This camera doesn't shoot 8K, so that's the R5 that shoots 8K video. This one only shoots 4K video. It seems to be in the cropped in mode in 4K. It doesn't really overheat, but we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. I've gotten mixed reports about the R6. So the R5 is the more expensive one. The R6 is about $1,400 less. It's like, I think it was like $23.99, so it's like $2,400. It's quite a bit of money. Add in the tax. It's a lot. So my expectation is it to just all of the functions that are available on it to work good. And that doesn't seem to be the case of what they did. They gave it all these functions that some of them caused it to overheat, and it really it's really frustrating to me because like it's how I make my money, and I buy tools so that I can earn a living better, and apparently Canon just doesn't care about that anymore. Mainly, I think it has to do with like public pressure that people have always said that like, well, Canon cripples their stuff on purpose, to protect their other cameras, and it's like, well, so then they added in all the features, but all the features don't work super well. I think that they fell prey to peer pressure and let peer pressure influence their decision making, which I can fully understand that. As like an independent creator, I typically run into the I kind of beat my head against the wall sometimes that people they tell me what they want me to make, right, in a not friendly way. And I'm like, no, I'm not listening to that criticism. I've gotten honest, good criticism from people, and I do take that into account because why wouldn't I? But yeah, just the reality of things is that I think that Canon fell prey to the peer pressure. Anyhow, speaking of memberships, criticisms, and where content comes from, our main contributors as far as working on doing the show, being able to do the show, are the YouTube members and the Patreon members. And the reason I bring that up is because today's the Patreon show, and normally we have multiple posts that we're able to go through and check out. But I'd like to update you guys on our account. And yes, this is kind of a commercial for the channel so that people can contribute to funding the show. As I've mentioned in the past, we have like 27,000 something subscribers. If every person chipped in 25 cents a month out of the 27,000, I'd be able to do this full time, make a ton more content, travel around, and do all of that kind of stuff. So that's the reason I bring it up. It's because, like, dude, I'm not trying to get all the people's money all of the time. I'm just trying to fund this project to be able to produce content for you guys. I have a ton of scripts. And by the way, this is not intended to be any kind of guilt trip. Like, if you're in pandemic mode, any of that kind of stuff, like if you can and want to help sponsor the show, you can. It's not a guilt trip to anybody out there, and that is not my intention. I just wanted to mention that I have like a bunch of scripts I've been working on of like fish tank content that I don't have time to like get all the shots, make all the edits, and do all that stuff. Yeah. And that is just a personal thing to mention during a live stream. It's frustrating that I don't have enough time to work on those, because that's reality. But let's update our Patreon. Patreon went from 228 to 212. Whoops. 212 at one point. Then it jumped up to 217. Then it jumped up to 218. Then it jumped up to 219. And as of today, right now, during the show, it jumped up to 222. Big shout out to my guy, your guy, our guy, Johnny McKenzie. I see John McKenzie in there with the $1 patronage over at Patreon. Thank you very much, guy, during the show. So that brought us up to a 222, which is just a cool number. So that's a legitimate thing. We got 222 people over on Patreon. YouTube members went from 93 down to 91. Oops. Nope. Push the buttons. There we go. So YouTube membership dropped down to 91. It was at 93. But I think I pissed some people off over the last couple weeks talking about whatever I talk about on the live stream. They got super mad. They took away their joinage. Is that a word? Nope. It's not a word. I just made it up. Somebody mentioned to me a while ago. No, it's not somebody I've ever met. It might even be just a robot. Who knows? That's typing things in on the internet. But they mentioned to me that people that make up words is a sign of stupidity or a lack of intelligence. And I was like, dude, harsh toke, because I am super dumb and I do lack intelligence. So that's why I make up words. Oh, crap. I don't know how to come back to this. So I just deleted the whole thing. I don't think people realize that, like, when they're shouting into the abyss that is the internet, like, the person you're yelling at has the power to just delete your nonsense. So I would like to point that out to the people that follow this show, follow this channel. If somebody's harassing you online, just make them go away. Like don't try to convince them to go away. Just like, nah, dude, I don't have time for your stupidity. It's ridiculous. As I mentioned before, constructive criticism, friendly criticism, ideas that you have, all that kind of stuff, fan-freaking-tastic. And by the way, I love that stuff. I love interacting with you guys. I love having a chance to talk to you guys. That's why I do these live streams. I have it set so that you guys can type into the chat. If you have something that you want me to talk about, that's what I'm here to do, dude. So, like, I do these live streams because I like talking with you guys, and it's kind of my favorite thing. But let's bust over here to a relatively, let's find these friendly comments that may or may not have I haven't had time to respond to. Let's respond to them during the show. These aren't troll comments. I'm not reading any troll comments. These are legit comments that at some point in time they will inspire me to make a video about it. BB Jaboy was asking, can fluorite be put above river pebbles, which brings up a great point that your substrate in your aquarium could be easily built up at a higher volume utilizing something cheaper like river rocks or pea gravel or something like that. My big issue with that stuff is that it has a tendency to accumulate a lot of excess waste to some degree. It could be fine. It could be a mess. Could go either way. And then plus, the little fluorite and aqua soil and stuff like that has a tendency to shimmy down into those nooks and crannies. So you may end up needing more than you even thought initially. So that's an issue. And if you do ever rescape the tank, you're going to have to try to separate all of the stuff. And I think it just looks goofy. When it gets all screwed up like that, Holy crap, we got is that a new annual patronizer? Oh my God. Is that a new annual patronizer? That means like, yeah, we have a new annual patronizer straight out the gate, Mr. Rick himself. I don't know if it's Richard. Ooh, that reminds me. Okay, I have the window not open so I can look this up. Not Richard. Yeah. So the Dead Milkmen, I've seen these guys a couple of times. Fantastic band, totally hilarious. Can I just look at the image? Do we have to do it like What? What the hell? Okay, hold on. I just want to look at this image right here. Can I? All right, fine. I'm going to have to save the image. Hold on. The internet's making me do it the hard way. Fine. And then let's save this image right here. Save image as. So here's what's weird. So Rick joined in, and kind of like whenever somebody has the name Rick or Richard or any of that, any of the incarnations of that, why does it save it to the middle? Can I sort these files by date? Whoa, that's not helpful. Oh no! Pushing buttons. Details? Oh, yeah, buddy. We fixed it. Okay. And then we want sort by view. Large icons. Ah, marvelous. We fixed it. Okay, cool. There we go. So, the Dead Milkmen, a fantastic punk rock band that's pretty accessible to anybody out there. They're pretty chill, dude. They got some pretty chill stuff. If you're like a chill punk rocker, the Dead Milkmen would be a fantastic place to jump off. But here's the record label that I've always laughed. Whenever the name Rick, is it not Richard but Dick, right? It's not Richard but Dick. It's a call out to the older generation. It's like the boomer plus, you know what I mean? Calling out to those guys where the names just don't make a whole lot of sense. And by the way, when I think about bands like the Dead Milkmen, I think of Days Like This that, for whatever reason, are in black and white now. Whenever I think back on the historical memories that I have in my history mind, that's basically where I end up. I end up, for some reason, in the black and white zone, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But the Dead Milkmen were fantastic. Metaphysical Graffiti, right? Wasn't that the Milkmen? Yeah. I think as far as I can remember, but that's the one that makes me laugh every time. Like, I can't stop laughing about it. But Rick, thank you very much coming in at an annual Patreon, getting his discount there. I like it. He's got his 10% off discount. And, it's one of the features that YouTube and Patreon are kind of promoting right now as far as, like, becoming a member. You can just do the annual membership. So thanks, my dude. I appreciate it. And let's update this number right here before I forget. And then people are like, dude, you were inaccurate with your Patreon number count for the whole second half of the show, dude. Like, what? And Rico Stan says, oh, and Rick is me. Oh, what's up, Rick? Rico Stan. Oh, thanks, Rick. Dude, I wholeheartedly appreciate it, my guy. Thank you for the double. He's not only is he a member, but he's also a patronizer. It's kind of funny. We have like the crossover people who are like a member and a member, right? They're a member and a member, which is always just kind of fun to say out loud, right? I think we all have a good time saying funny things with our mouths. But I have noticed that we did have a couple other people post up onto a couple extra posts during the show, and I was able to sneak a peek at them and make sure that we didn't get, in trouble with the algorithms, whether or not we posted something that was like copywritten material or not. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what we get in trouble for. I will say 9 out of 10 live streams are demonetized. So that we got that going for us. I was looking at this the other day and I realized that they're basically all demonetized. And I was watching a YouTube premium show the other day called Wayne that legitimately, it's YouTube premium. So it's a YouTube premium show. So it's endorsed 100% by YouTube. I think that the writing and acting and cinematography and it's all fantastic, very well put together. But it does have a lot of swearing, a lot of violence, a lot of crazy stuff going on in it. And it's like, so you could have a YouTube premium show that does that, but you can't have like a YouTube regular stream that says fart, poop, whatever, right? Like, you just can't say shit, otherwise you get demonetized. I don't know. It's very weird. Very, very, very weird to me. And I know somebody a while ago said, I can't play you on, like on the boombox at work if you drop F-bombs. So I try not to drop the F-bombs, but I do occasionally, talk about the doo-doo, right? But I don't know what to tell you. I think if this was a FCC regulated over the airwaves type of show, then I would be concerned. But those shows are normally like sponsored by Albertsons and Audi and all that kind of crap. We're not, man. We're sponsored by the fans around here. So I feel like if I, in context, just accidentally swear a little bit, I don't think it's a big deal. I kind of PG-13, you know what I'm saying? But I just thought that was odd. I thought it was kind of a weird world we're living in. I forgot to hit the like button. Oh, no, I hit the like button on It's Nature, man. So, okay. We're all good. I had to scroll back down because I thought I missed it. But a couple of posts for next week. It's been a while. Here's the new scape for the axolotls. Is this a couple of posts for next week? Who knows, man? Pandemic might ruin the internet by then. So let's get to them now because that's a dope tank. I like your aquascape. I see some good greenage in there that is going to grow out and become super lovely. But I was almost concerned that this was an axolotl tank until my brain started thinking. And I was like, man, they kind of scoot around and flop around every once in a while, kind of uproot some plants and things. But they're not like all violent, they're not all violent with the plants. They're not like chewing them all up or ruin anything or anything like that. So I think it'll work out pretty well. Myrdal Singh says, whenever I buy film, save money for a while, and then I bulk buy the crap out of the stores. What are you talking about, John? How about bagpipes? That's a good point from Andrew. Kolazar. I want to figure out how to say this. Kolazarvi? Kolazvari. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of close. I haven't played keyboard in years. Pulls out keyboard. Guys, I haven't played piano in years. What's up? I've got one in my hands. I haven't played it in years, but I got one in my hand. So this one isn't like super old, but everything that runs off of this is straight up USB communication. And all of my old MIDI programs and knowledge are sort of based in the actual MIDI pass-through and whatnot. So it is taking me some time because I don't want to just put just a keyboard on here and then be like, right? I would like it to be a little more interesting, like right? I don't know. So we'll see how it goes. See how it goes. And it's working. We'll get there. You know what I'm saying? We'll get there. As you guys can see, there are more paintings hanging around in the background. I've been doing some infrastructure work in here too. Got a bunch of pipes hung up and some nonsense. And maybe someday this place will be tidy enough for me to do a studio tour. But I don't know when that day will be because right now there's literally a box over there. And nobody wants to see a tour of a cardboard box, you know what I'm saying? It's a bit much. I think it's a bit much. I think it's a bit much for everybody, I think it's a bit much. So we'll try to maintain our sanity and not do a studio tour and show off cardboard boxes. Because it's a bit much, I think. Dakota, thumbs up. I like it. She says I couldn't edit this post, but I did want to add that I'm under a new name on YouTube now as well. My new username is Skates and Scape Vlog. Oh, crap. There you are right there. Skatin' Scape Vlog. Skatin' Scape Vlog. Skatin' Scape Vlog. It makes it sound like you're saying Satanscape. Martin Dollinger's back again to try and troll. Good job, buddy. Anyhow. Excuse me. The pollen around here is just ridiculous today. Dakota Davies also sent this in with the one wheel here. I like the one wheel. I dig the one wheel with the panda. Okay, it's got a panda and some bamboos. I like it. Or let's just say it's bamboo. I know it's not bamboo. You know it's not bamboo, but we get it. Here's my 75. Finally starting to fill in. And the underneath is my new second hobby that's been eating all of my time. And that's rocking the one wheel, which I think is amazing. I've never been able to budgetarily figure out if I wanted to get a one wheel or one of those. What's the Casey Neistat skateboard that's like, you know, what the hell is that one? I can't remember the name of it. It's bright orange. It's got a name, and I'm sure somebody will tell me in the chat. I've never been able to really be like, man, I could set aside the money and get a one wheel or something like that. It just seems like a lot of dough, dude. You know what I'm saying? So before I accidentally search something with the window open there, one wheel. What do they cost? Price, because I remember like I looked this up a while ago and I was like, "Whoa, man, that's rough. How much are they?" Here's a one wheel plus XR. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of different grades, so you should keep that in mind. Oh yeah, this one's $1,800. So yeah, I mean, I literally bought a $2,400 camera and I just about had a heart attack. So I don't know if I would be able to buy a one wheel for, you know, the mortgage, for a month's worth of mortgage and not feel like I was going to have a heart attack. So yeah, $1,800. I think there's some smaller ones that are a little bit cheaper, but $1,800 seems like a lot. 19 miles an hour is the top speed. Hypercore brushless motor stops on a dime. All right. 18 miles is the maximum range. So you could commute to work and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think they look like a lot of fun. The boosted board. There we go. The boosted board's the other one. How much is a boosted cost? Because I remember there's like multiple different boosted boards, but yeah, see, there's the mini one. I'm not good enough for the mini one. I would have a lot of problems with the mini. I think the boosted board. Okay, that's not helping me. That's not helping any of us. Oh, you stupid guy. That's me. I'm dumb. Where do you have a website? Why is it not on the top of the search results? Shop boosted boards in stock. Okay, here we go. Sheesh, that took forever. Where's the boosted plus is sold out. And it doesn't say how much it is. The mini, the boosted V2 dual, the boosted version 2 plus is $900. So, are you guys telling me that the boosted boards are cheaper than the one wheel? Is that what's going on? There's the boosted stealth, which what's the difference? The pinnacle of performance. So this is the top one, is the boosted stealth. This one's only $15.99, so it's actually $200 cheaper than the one wheel. I find that hard to believe, but I guess. Extended range 14 miles. So they only go 14 miles. So the one wheel actually goes further. Skate and Skate vlog. I think Boosted as a company may have died. Oh, is Boosted go out of business? Is that what happened? We moved into town, so now it's my primary transport to work and around town. It's so much fun. 500 miles in 3 months. I will tell you guys, my workout has me traveling on foot 120 miles a month right now. Last month I hit 128 miles with all the little extra bits I've been trucking around. So that's on foot. So I could imagine that if you were at 5 miles an hour, you're probably spending about the same amount of time. Well, no, if you're at 5 miles an hour, that's not right. 500 miles versus the 100 miles. You're probably spending about the same amount of time riding your boosted board, which seems like not like a great workout, but it probably is a workout to some degree. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's, you know, I don't know that anybody would say it's like a super workout, but you're definitely not stagnant. It's not like you're riding the bus or the train or driving a car. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Maybe Boosted went out of business. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I was just trying to look up the prices in the comparison in my mind. Shop Boosted Revs. Oh, so they have like a little scooter mobile. Oh yeah, I've seen these. Scooter mobile is $1,600. It's $1,599 in stock. 22-mile range, 24 miles an hour top speed. I feel like the scooter is kind of dorky, right? Does that feel? It feels kind of dorky. I don't know. It feels a little dorky to me. I feel like I would just go for a bike, you know, for a boosted bike. That's what I would go for. Do they have a boosted bike? Do they have like a dope 10-speed that... No, they just have scooters and skateboards. All right. But I'd probably... if I was going to go for an electric vehicle or something like that, I think I would probably just... I would probably go with an electric bike, I think. And just convert one of my old track bikes to electric. I think that's what I would do. I talked to a guy who owns a company that does that, and I think I think last time, I'm trying to remember, because when I talked to him, I think he said it would cost about $1,200 to convert my bike to like. He says that you get like a 50-mile radius, like fully charged, but you're assisting with it, so. I think if you were just strictly, it'd probably be around the same 22-mile thing, I would guess. Daniel Velez says, oh, man, late to the show. Hello, everyone. Hope all are safe, well, and healthy. I've not heard any bad reports from anybody that they are unhealthy or whatnot. Glass City Fish Witch, which I forgot to mention, became a Patreon patronizer the other day. So shout out. Thank you very much. Don't act like what happened? Or was it? It was on here. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know where it went, but oh crap, I got too many notifications on here. But it was on here and now it's gone now. But Glass City Fish Witch came in as a patronizer. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So, I don't know. But it said they're all over Toledo. The university has them to rent all over. Yeah, I've definitely seen that. Like College Town seems to have like bikes and scooters, and scooters seem to be the most popular one for rental now, which is dope. You know, I think it's just a good thing. The electric stuff has gotten crazy. There are scooters that do 75 miles an hour with 80-mile range. Electric unicycles that do 45 with similar range. Sounds like you're pretty spot on the bike for a kit. Yeah, I think that pretty much is what I would do, and mainly because I love my old bike. It's my old track bike. I used to go out and do, BMX track racing and stuff like that. So I'd probably would do that, just more on the vein of like, because I love my old bike, you know what I mean? I would want to just keep that and not start rock some new thing that's like, oh, it's a new thing I bought. I'd like to fix up and rock my my cool bike that I would, you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying. You guys know what I'm talking about. When me and my son were in San Francisco in November, I used those little electric scooters that be laying around everywhere to get back to the hotel. Yeah, they're very helpful. I think that they're a really good addition. I mean, that's definitely one of the things of the future that, from what my understanding is, some of the economists I was looking at for future reports of like income revenue streams that are going to be pretty important in the future, is that it's not so much like the ownership of expensive things. So you think like a Tesla. A lot of people don't have the money to buy a Tesla. The damn things are like $80,000. That's like a mortgage for a lot of people. It's like a second mortgage on a car. There's the likelihood of, if our economic structure continues the way that it goes, there's not going to be a lot of customers for Tesla. For instance, if things just kind of continue the direction that they're going for a lot of people, not everybody, but for a lot of people. But it's going to be the usage of things. So you think of like, you know, the smart cars that they put in, like the car to go in town. Hold on, I got to hit the cough button. Some people out there are probably going to say I got the Rona, but this is literally that same thing I've been battling all year with this weird like pollen inflammation stuff. So I'll probably go take some of my meds after the show, and I'll be fine. But what was I talking about? Some of the economists that I was looking into with revenue streams of the future for upper middle class people is going to be, you're going to own a car, right? Like a Tesla. Maybe not specifically a Tesla. Maybe it'll be a Cadillac, maybe whatever. It doesn't matter. An electric car that has full self-drive, blah, blah, blah. So one of the income revenue streams that they're expecting in the future would be people having the ability to utilize your car for rides around town, for instance, while you're at work. So let's say you worked in Seattle. Can I even say Seattle? Seattle, Washington. And parking in Seattle is incredibly expensive. So parking your car down there is like, if you have a good spot, it's probably like $400 a month, $500 a month to park your car in a parking garage in the same spot, blah, 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 blah. Well, $500 a month out does not help anybody that's going into town for work. But let's say you didn't have to buy that parking spot anymore because your car is fully self-driving. It would drop you off at work, right? Then just continue to drive, right? So it would just continue driving around town, communicating with all the other cars via Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, blah, 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 all that stuff. It would continue to drive around so as to not create a traffic jam. Like maybe it would drive uptown or something where there's not a lot of traffic and just continue moving around in traffic until people would use apps like Uber, right? This is one of the reasons why Uber jumped into the rideshare stuff in the first place. This is one of the prospect sheets that they were looking at, that like Uber could be the company that people utilize for these rideshare cars that don't have a driver, so that people could go like, oh, I need to go blah, 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 hit into the Uber. A self-driving car would come pick them up, right? Take them where they're going, drop them off. They'd get charged a rate, and then you'd just be making money while you're at work instead of paying for a parking spot, which realistically we don't need a ton of parking garages, a ton more parking garages to be built if that's the way the car's operated, right? My page, here we go. Share your storefront. I want to share my storefront. How do I do that? Where did it go? It's not letting me get the link. Oh, here it is. I really have to copy and paste it now? Control copy. Okay, I noticed Kiwi Mamo posted in the chat there, and I realized my brain doesn't work well enough to navigate Amazon's affiliate stuff, and I got totally distracted by trying to just grab that link. Let's open the chat back up. There we go. So the car would be going around doing that stuff. It'd be a source of revenue, which is almost even crazier because let's say somebody has a 2 a.m. They need to go to the airport. I live in Tacoma. If you're trying to go to SeaTac, which is Seattle Tacoma International Airport, if I take an Uber now with a driver, it costs $55 to go from here to get dropped off at SeaTac. It's $55 back, depending on the time of the day. Blah blah blah. It might be more. So if you think about it, somebody has a budget of like $110 to get picked up and dropped off at the airport. If they cut that price in half because no one is driving, but your car sitting in your driveway took the call basically while you were asleep, because it was like, oh, well, this guy doesn't normally go into work until 9 o'clock. It's 3 a.m. We have plenty of time to go up, drop somebody off, and come back. Your car could be working for you while you were asleep at your house, right? That's where you start to realize, like, this is how rich people get rich, right? This is how rich people get wealthy. It's just like a revenue streams when you're not doing anything. That's all that they really look for, you know, when you come down to it. So, Kiwi Mamo says something about I noticed it in the Discord. I forgot to comment because I was trying to deal with this haircut situation. That the Amazon link was working or not working. I think what might be part of the problem there is that you're in New Zealand, so maybe that's the issue. What did I just post? That is not what the hell was that? That was a YouTube video? Why did it copy and paste a YouTube video link? Copy. That is so, I don't know. I don't know what that was. That was weird. But I wonder what that video was. I don't know I don't know what that video was. It's probably something reasonable. Who knows? Anyhow, there's the Amazon store. If people want to go to the Amazon store, you can. You can go check it out. Ooh, it doesn't paste as an actual link. So I don't know. Let me find a product, and I'll post a product in here that is fish tank related, because that's what we's all about around here. Oh yeah, these bulkheads right here. I did order a ton of these the other day, and they are sold out. Of course. And the only other seller that's selling them. Let's see. Let me figure this out. Oh, here we go. Here's the individual. You can buy the 4-pack or the 5-pack or the whatever. Let's get a link. We shall copy that. Okay, here we go. So, how this works, I'm an Amazon affiliate. So I, generally speaking, I post Amazon links to stuff like that you could go and be like, oh, that's bulkheads. Okay, there they are. Awesome. Thanks for the help, bud. What ends up happening is that Amazon basically considers me to be the advertiser at that point. Like, YouTube considers me to be the advertiser, so they pay me the advertising fee. And because of that, it works in the U.S. Like, I have availability to get links in other countries like Canada, the U.K., Germany, I think New Zealand. And I've opened them before to see, and the reality is, like, I don't sell enough products. Like, there's not enough people clicking through for them to maintain me being able to get paid for having that. So it's a long, stupid thing to, like, try and explain, but basically, like, I would get paid an advertising fee if I advertise and make enough sales through Amazon. Otherwise, I get fired by Amazon because I'm not selling enough stuff. So, yeah, that's just kind of how that goes, I guess. I don't know how to explain that in a better way at this point. But I think every country is kind of different now. So you, like, if you were in Germany and a lot of people from Germany were clicking on your links, you'd sell enough stuff and it would never cause a problem. But I've opened them up in other countries because I was like, oh, I wonder if I have enough Spain people to click on the Spain stuff. So, so what about New Zealand? New Zealand, Joel G, my guy. I was saying that, like, Kiwi Mamo is in New Zealand, so that might be why that link didn't work properly, basically. In a really long way of explaining it. Taylor Gibson Olsey says, what's up, Fish Fam? What's up, dude? Missed you. Sunwise said hello. What's up, Sunwise? Good to be here. How long have I been live? I don't even know. Does anybody know what time it is? 2:50. I believe this started over an hour ago. Yeah, we're getting to that point. So I definitely have had a few people mention over the last few weeks and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, hey, man, I wanted to come here for fish content. And the reality is, like, I've tried to keep this show as interactive as possible. Yes, I have however many subscribers or whatever, right? 20, let me see. I'll just look the damn thing up before I keep saying it. Let's refresh that. 27,300 subscribers. Now, what people don't seem to understand is that there's only, where is it? 1,100 and something. Where did it go? Workshop, velocity, algorithm. Is that it? Oh, okay. Yeah, so there's only 1,315 people that actually come back to this channel on a regular basis via tracked by YouTube, right? So Morning Fame is a program that tracks all that information for me and correlates it into something that's way less confusing than the way that YouTube gives you those analytics. It's also how I, like, add keywords to videos and stuff like that so that people can search them easier. Anyhow, there's only 1,300 people that come back to this channel, right, on a regular basis. So I have 27,000 subscribers, which only 1,300 of them actually come to the channel and watch stuff on the channel, which could be pretty readily illustrated by, let me go to my videos here. So the last, up until 10 videos ago, so 1,300, 1,000, 1,100, 2,000, 1,300, 1,900, 1,700, 1,400. That's how my views look. They look between 1,500 and 2,000 views on a video. If I post a video up, that's pretty good, right? Or a decent video. That's an edited video that should appeal to anybody who's subscribed to my channel. That's about how many people come to this channel. And that's basically like when I do the live stream, those are the people that I'm engaging with on the live stream. So I do my best to engage with those people on the live stream. If you guys actively have questions and stuff like that. So like earlier today, I was going through comments to talk about somebody. This is the first comment I've ever seen from this person about fluorite, right? And how to put your substrate in. Pete Lowndes, I don't know who this guy is, says, edit yelling internet out at the beginning really loud, fix the volume levels on a video from 8 years ago. So that's the next comment. Very not, I don't know. What, you want me to get a freaking time machine and go back in time and edit that video differently for you specifically, Pete guy? You know, some guy named Pete who thinks I am the owner of a time machine, I guess. I don't know. It's very confusing. Great comment, though. Very helpful. Very intuitively helpful. Let's see. Oh, then we have Mary Page, who says, I love this place. It might have been an older video, but it was a good one. Really enjoyed the tour. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Fantastic. Thanks, Mary. Hold on. Let me hit the heart button. I'm going to heart it. There. Alex's, which kind of questionable whether or not somebody would have the SS in their name, right? On their avatar. Very strange. Says, that's crazy listening to it through surround sound in front of my own aquascape. Bernd Tweest says, in my opinion, it's not Gracilis, but the Senegalensis, which spelling is a little bit weird, but that's fine. Gracilis have thicker stems and bigger leaves. From a video from a couple years ago. Dimitri D says, would it work with a replaceable filter inside? From a reactor video, which isn't a filter. Miradool, who's in the chat, what's up, my dude? Says, thanks for the stream, especially the history lesson. Always appreciate any opportunity to learn. So, yep, I'll hit the like button there. B. Hen says, wow, so cool. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to hit the like button on that because that's just cool. Night Flight said, you scared the crap out of me with that start. Wasn't expecting that, though I should by now. I'm going to hit the heart on that because, dude, that's just nice. Muffet says, can you do cardinal plants on a video from a week and a half ago, which didn't even likely look at my channel because the video I posted right before that was on a cardinal plant. Soren, my guy, member, I'm going to hit the like button because booyah, says, thanks for a very interesting live stream, especially the history lesson. It was a great indication of the poor knowledge of history in some of the American people. It's really scary to see. Even in Sweden, we learn a lot about the history of the U.S. Civil War in our schools, which is rad. I don't know. It's like, thanks, bud. I don't know what to throw that in there. I don't know what to answer with that, but Aquarium Treasures, very nice. I'm learning from you. Not so worried to move or trim plants now. Thanks. Your tank is gorgeous. Hey, thanks, bud. Paula says, damn, Max with Safari won't open Discord. You got to use another browser. Firefox works. I'm going to hit the like on that because Paula's awesome. And I get it. That is just somebody. Paula's just commenting like, damn, this browser doesn't work with Discord for some reason, which I wish I knew the answer for that. I don't have an answer. I wish I did. I'm not a software engineer. I grew up with computers. I'm the age where I was a little kid and learned how to use DOS and all the original programming and stuff like that to make colors change on the screen, Like I know how to do that stuff, but it's totally useless now because I didn't stick with it because it wasn't what I really wanted to do. Would you mind giving me a link to a wider spaced grading? I've been looking for some about that size, which the link was in the comments of that video. So I don't know, but that was a week ago. I started with 2 stems of Hygrophila, and now I got a tank full of them. Thank you, sir, for your awesome inspiration. I'm just going to hit the heart button on that because it's nice. What's the intro song? Also, Pristine Planet Tanks. Thanks for all of the tips from James, which I don't even know what the intro song is, so it would be really hard for me to answer that question in a way that would help James, because it would be like, go to Artlist and find this audio track that you'd have to pay like $200 a year to listen to, because it's music that's for editing. That's what it's for. Like, it's licensed so that people that make videos can use the, you know what I'm saying? It's very weird. It would be like asking for the sound effect from a video of like Iron Man falling down, which you might be able to find it, but it'd be very complex to like get a copy of it to be able to listen to. I mean, maybe you could rip it off the DVD or something, but I don't know. It'd just be very complex. Hoa says, state of that facial hair emoji, right? I don't know. Commander says, I'm having a problem with controlling this plant. It grows quickly into a large bush, and I get thousands of leaves, old brown ones covered with algae, and new ones. They look like crap. There's no way to remove the old or the individual leaves, as they are super packed together. And what I want to know is if I can just trim the bastard like regular grass. And the answer to that would be no, but it would be super mean to just say no. You know? Finn McScallywag says, where's the tall red, or what's the tall red crypt? Which I think at some point I should probably answer that, but to you guys, that tall red crypt is Cryptocorini retrospiralis version tiger. It's the tiger spiralis, basically. So, you know, it's just like, you know, sometimes people comment stuff that's helpful, sometimes people don't, but it's on a similar vein of like what people post into the live chat, and that's what I end up talking about. So, you know, if somebody has a fish question, I read it and I do my best to answer it. You know what I'm saying? What? I think everyone misses Joel yelling internet and surprises. I personally would like Joel to reincorporate that. I might. I don't know. I feel like that was a phase where I was doing that, and then I don't know. It would be hard. It'd be hard to like do some critical analysis to actually figure out like why I don't do that anymore. But maybe it's just because like I just got tired of doing it. I don't know. Myrtle Singh says, if you could only have one tool other than hands, minds, etc., remaining in your fish room shop, cannot make more tools with that tool, what would it be? These right here. Easy to answer question. The pincers. Good, high quality pincer planting tongs. Probably the one thing that I mean, I can plant plants with my fingers. I just can't make them get smaller, right? To this size. Like, I don't know if I could sand my fingers down to get them that small. Even if I could, I don't think I'd want to, because I use the bulk of my fingers for certain things at certain times. Very important. How about we say rock climbing would be a better path for our brains to go down, but I use the bulk of my fingers to do things with on a regular basis, so I don't think I'd be able to emulate that. Whereas like scissors and stuff, like a lot of plants I trim with my gnarly ass fingernails, right? I got chunky fingernails that I can just cut stuff with, so I could do that. The toothbrushes, I mean, toothbrush, super duper 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 important, but I could probably do a lot of that with these. So, okay. The mag float, man, I don't know. If it was one, I'd have to go with the pincer tongs. But it feels weird to even think like, man, I could only have one and couldn't make any more or anything like that. But I likely, if I couldn't buy any, I would probably start figuring out how to make some. I purposefully don't cut my right hand thumbnail too short to cut plants. Yeah, I cut my thumbnails just like a little bit longer. I cut my thumbnails like just a little bit longer to always have them for like cutting things open and grabbing stuff and doing stuff like that. Like I don't know, I'm a weirdo. John McKenzie says a fish net. Yeah, I feel like I could do without a fish net though, because if you just drain the tank down, you could just scoop them out with your hands. Probably not the friendliest way to go about it, but if we're limited to one tool, you know, you might have to just drain the tank down. But then again, maybe is hose a tool? I don't know. It's in my top 5 tools is a length of tube. Where's my script for that? I have a script for that, I think. Yep. Here's the script. Yeah. I think a length of tube. Oh yeah, I do have a top 5 aquascape tools video that I've shot a bunch of the stuff like the voiceover, the in-tank shots, the product shots, I think. No, I still have to do the product shots. I think I staged some for some other products that I did, but got to do product shots and then the A-roll where I talk to the camera. And then, of course, edit the whole thing, which I think most of it's all laid out on a timeline already, so I'm hoping to have it done for a while I'm on vacation, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see how late I can stay up tonight working. Yeah. All right. 3 o'clock. Ooh, 3:05. It's going to be time for me to go because I got to get back to work on those videos. I only have 2 hours before Olivia gets home, and I also still have to pack and get things ready for the house sitter and all that stuff. So I want to say thanks to everybody for coming out today. Did anybody become... We didn't get any new members during the show. Okay. We did get a super chat from the Fish Tank Barn. Thank you very much for the super chat. Mike, a.k.a. Fish Tank Barn, a.k.a. Mike, a.k.a. Dad Van. Also, thank you, Rick and John McKenzie, for becoming patrons. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend out there, whatever the weekend entitles. But let's go back to scene 2 here. Scene 2 with the tunes. Oh, let me turn this off.